Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Uninformed Fan. Today is Wednesday, Hump Day. We got a lot of stuff to catch on. We had some technical difficulties at the end of the Monday stream where the lovely Discord went down for me. But as you saw, Jeffrey and our wonderful producer, who you can now put a face to a name, took over. Jeremy, thank you so much for subbing in. Jeff is still in the process of securing a home, which his wife scheduled the appointment for him today at 10 o'clock. So he will be running just a tad bit late. So Jeremy's going to be filling in for a while. Jeremy, how are we doing today?
Doing very well. Had a very busy night last night at work, and looking forward to tomorrow and Friday having a couple days off and relaxing, but just grinding, as Jeff likes to say. We're just out here grinding.
Out here grinding, man. Squirrels trying to catch a nut. And I did see you might be playing some golf on Friday, eh?
Thinking might out pick up the sticks and get to play some golf.
Well, nice. Now, we do have our Wedge Wednesday today, but it is kind of an off week. I know the boys are going to be coming and talking a little bit about that. We're going to recap a little bit of the Hobba Town, where your boy Business Time obviously brought home the gold. We've already covered that. There's no need to rehash that once again. But we have a lot of stuff to get into. We have the Monday night games that we didn't that we saw that we didn't recap. We have the Tuesday night games, and then of course we have the previews coming in. So let's dive right into it, and we'll have the boys on in about 30 minutes to talk a little bit of golf. Now Monday we did have some very good games. Again, the Nets 76ers. This game was a little closer than I thought. It ended up Nets 84, 76ers 96. The 76ers do take a 2-0 lead. I state once again, I didn't really see what the national commentators had seen in the Nets to be able to pick them to upset the 76ers. However, during this game, I did see a little bit of that. I saw the youth, I saw the spunk, I saw the spark, and they actually kept this game very, very close. I do believe led for a little bit as well. So I do see what they were looking for in that. However, I just don't see them overcoming this whatsoever. I'm still taking this, as Jeffrey likes to call it, a gentleman's sweep 4-0. Did you happen to catch any of that game at all?
I got to watch a little bit of it. I think, the 76ers are the team that's going to win this. I mean, the gentleman's sweep, yeah, Brooklyn might get one game, but I think it's going to be it could be a sweep, especially after what, They had a lead for a little bit, and then Joel Embiid and Maxey just said, you know what? Nope, boys, you're still a little too young. You don't have as much firepower as we have, and we're just going to take this game over.
And they did come back that fast, too. It was, I think that the Nets had like a 6 or maybe an 8-point lead, somewhere around there. Again, it's on my second. There's so much stuff going on. It's such a mecca of sports. All TVs are firing right now. So we have hockey games, we have basketball games, and of course, when my wife is off of work, which she was over the past couple of days, I have to watch some programs with her, so that does take over the big screen. But the 3 other TVs are all on sports, and I did happen to catch that as well. It just seemed like just as quickly, or I'm sorry, as hard as Brooklyn fought to grind back into this game, the next thing I know, it's 76ers, and they're not looking back. So to your point, I think the 76ers are, but I don't think that they're getting past the Bucks, which we'll get to that a little bit later down the road. Now, of course, Warriors, Kings. This is the matchup that everybody has been looking for. The Kings go up 2-0, Warriors 106, Kings 114. Of course, the big story in this game is Draymond Green once again doing great Draymond Green things. Now, initially, I tweeted out, and I didn't tweet it. I sent to the guys in the group text. I sent the Score app screenshot, basically just showing Draymond Green. I don't remember exactly what it said. I think it said Draymond Green stomps on what's the guy's name again?
Sabonis.
Sabonis. Yeah,
Arvidas kid, Domantas Sabonis.
So I originally sent that Snapchat snippet. It goes, Draymond was just ejected for stepping on Sabonis. Now, me and Jeffrey talked about this before, but the Score app has been a little futile, in my opinion, about giving out the facts. It's, like he likes to say, if it's divisive, it's clickable. But with that, there was more to that. Now, obviously, he did grab his foot, and it did throw him off kilter to the point where his foot landed on his chest. But then you can't tell me after that was a natural motion. The man put all of his weight on it and launched off of his stomach or chest, however you want to see it. I understand, okay, and Sabonis says that he was just protecting himself so he didn't get stepped on. Okay, whatever. Nah, you were trying to hold him for a fast break because you weren't going to get up. That's strike number one. But when you see him kind of get off kilter there, and he has his full balance, right? His left foot has full balance, full control, and he just puts all of that weight on his right foot, and like it was like a little trampoline. I mean, I understand his frustration. He said that this wasn't the first time, but come on, man. This is just Draymond doing Draymond things as far as the after and just taking it to the next level and then continue to run around the court, giving the Hulk Hogan ears to the crowd of Sacramento. I mean, you know, we said that you don't want to poke the bear, but at this point, I think the Kings shot the bear. I think they put an arrow straight through the heart of the Golden State Warriors. Now, Draymond Green is out for the next game. I don't see, is any way Golden State comes back from this? I don't think so. I actually changed my prediction. I do believe I have the Kings in 5 now, I believe.
Wow.
I think Golden State gets 1 at home, and that's it.
You know, I talked with a little bit on Monday with Jeff. I have a differing opinion on the whole stomping thing. I mean, it wasn't the Vlade Divac stepping on grapes many years ago that us old guys would remember. But it was, I honestly think, if you look at it, yeah, Draymond Green, the Kings abuse him. They were pushing him around, and Draymond doesn't like that. They poked that bear a little too long.
I'll tell you,
what I did.
Playoffs are physical, though.
Playoffs are physical. Listen, we grew up in the 80s and 90s eras when if it was no blood, there was no foul.
Correct.
So I did see it. I got to watch this game, and Jeff and I were sitting there, and when the stomp happened, I said, I didn't think it was that bad. In all honesty, like if
it didn't look that bad in real time.
It looked terrible in real time.
No, I mean it didn't look that bad to me in real time. It looked to me like he kind of stumbled over him.
I thought he stumbled, and honestly, and one of the many sports that I did play, I was a triple jumper in high school, and they teach you when in one of the motions you actually push your foot down, you never touch the ground, and you do like a little skip. That honestly, when I looked at it, I was like, he was just doing a triple jump move, man. He felt the body, and he.
I understand that move. I understand what you're saying.
And I didn't think it was that bad. Now Sabonis, being a European, he watched a lot of soccer growing up. You know, he took it, and oh man, he was injured until they brought out the spray and got him back on the court. He's doubtful for tonight already with a chest contusion.
So after the first eye test, right? You saw that, okay? But did you watch the close-up replays?
Many times.
You don't see that depression?
I did see in the initial when his foot hits him and it feels it. He pushes down
again.
He does the little skip. I saw two little steps, but the second one wasn't as bad. He felt a depression. Yeah, he pushed down, but I didn't think it was.
It was trampoline style, bro. It was trampoline style. I see you fighting hard to defend this, and I know what you're talking about when you get on something, kind of like you accidentally step on your dog or something. You're like Yeah. No, dude. Exactly. He shifted weight from left to right. His body physically moved from left to right, and he did. I mean, he was frustrated. Justice says, "Happy birthday to the sexy boo boo right there." We don't get to see his face too often, do we, Justice? A little birthday present. But yeah, I'm not buying that, man. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was frustrated. He said it wasn't the first time that he'd been held on the floor like that. Nah. And you know what? There's no place in the game for either one of it. But at the time. People don't understand sports and, how people equate it to battles, right? And they're like wartime, and you're like, how can you equate that? Because when you're in a situation like this, your brain doesn't work the same. It doesn't give you time to process, like, should I grab this dude's ankle right now? Should I do that? Or, oh shit, my foot's on top of somebody. Should I not put the full force of my weight on him? I'm telling you, it just doesn't click like that. You're in the moment. You're pissed off. Your tensions are high. But yes, Draymond Green's out. So you think that the Warriors can come back from this? Because I know you have the Warriors to come out of the West.
I do. I think this, with him going around and doing the Hulk Hogan, calling people, and chatting up the Kings fans. I think the Oracle is going to be buzzing. I really, really do. I think that. When the Warriors are at home, they are a different team.
Things 100%.
It's because they're at home. But I think with Draymond Green, he only had 8 points in the game.
It's never
8
about
points.
it's never about his production though. It's about his nuisance, right? He's an agitator. He's the old school, the Rodmans, the ones that just got in everybody's face and just really pissed everybody off to get them off their game. That he is the modern day 90s like Rodman type.
He really is.
And
really
I think that, I agree with you. I think definitely, and I think that's why they get one. I just don't think that they get the one without Draymond Green. I don't know who else is going to show up. Jordan Poole hasn't really done a whole lot, in my opinion, or done enough. I don't think that, I just don't think that they do. But you think that they go back and get both at home and send it back?
I think I'm gonna go out on a limb. I say they get both at home, and say that they go back 2-2, and they go back to Cowtown, Sacramento, and I don't know those. I think, and I told this to Jeff the other day. This is the most exciting matchup in a first round NBA matchup I think I've seen in years. Like usually it's gentlemen sweeps, it's 4-1, or it's, hey, this team just blows everybody out. I think this could be I think this one goes to Game 7.
And Game 7, I like that. And I think this is a testament to the playoff, the play-in tournament. I really do, because you got some of these seeds, you got teams that are fighting, winning hard at the end to try to make the playoffs, and then they get in, and then they're like, woo, 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 we're not scared of anybody. And it's the same thing. We talked about the people that have the buys, especially in football. But the teams that keep playing and keep having that energy just come out and outperform the better team. And to your point again, I don't know. I don't see it going 7, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll give you maybe 6. Maybe 6. Actually, yeah, I'm still going 5. I'm still taking the Kings in 5, and I think this is the end of the Warriors dynasty. Prove me wrong, Steph. I know you can. Let's see what happens. So Tuesday night, we had another blowout. Hawks Celtics 106-119. This is another one though that the Hawks did actually hang around this game. They actually had the lead at one point in this game, and then it's just almost like the Celtics were just literally toying with them. They're just like, nah, we're good now. We're just gonna go ahead and win this. Quinn Snyder's coaching his butt off, and to watch the Hawks also really just make a big run without Trae Young on the court, to me is very, very surprising. And I think that shows Atlanta that you can actually win without him. So, there has been a lot of rumors about him as far as, being traded, to go to a different contender, not part of a rebuild. So I think that's going to be a very key, interesting piece for the Hawks in the offseason. I think if they could trade him, get some more players that fit into Dan Quinn's system, Quinn Snyder's system, I apologize.
Not Dan Quinn's system.
Yeah, not Dan Quinn. Maybe he could play some football. I don't know. Quinn Snyder's system. I think that would behoove the Hawks. Again, this one's just a blowout. This is another one that I put in the same category with the 76ers. 2-0. This is going to be a 4-0 gentleman's sweep. I don't think Atlanta gets one at home at all.
Yeah. Nope. This one is all Celtics. Put your money down on that, and they're going to wait. Then that's the good thing is they're going to win 4 games, and they're going to sit back and go, all right, who's next?
But that's kind of the thing, though. I think that I was alluded to before. Sometimes that's just not a good thing. But looking at the East, and I'm not sure exactly who that they would face. They would face the it's not the Cavs Knicks. They would face Who would
That's what I'm trying to look at.
Yeah.
Doing this and then being a producer.
Yeah, being behind the scenes and having to come up and find some stuff here.
Let's see the bracket. There we go. I got a bracket right here. Here we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Bucks Heat. I take on Kevin. They would take on the winner of the 76ers Nets. So
76ers Nets. So yeah. So I think that's actually going to be very interesting because I think that they both sweep here. So I'm not exactly sure though because they have to wait for the other half to finish. I do believe. And, I think that this, moving on to the next series, the Knicks Cavs, I think this one could go 7 games. The Cavs actually came out last night and just absolutely looked like a completely different team. They looked like somebody that was in control from the beginning. They had the it factor. They had the swag. The Knicks kind of fell back a little bit. But honestly, the Knicks did what they had to do. They got, I apologize. Yeah, the Knicks did what they had to do. They got one out of Cleveland anyway. So, I mean, they have to come out of that looking as a W. I did see my boy Derrick Rose on the bench over there. He's looking a little rough these days. But is he not playing at all?
He doesn't really play a whole lot. He looks great in warm-ups. Seen him doing some nice layups lines and a couple jump shots, but yep, didn't play. And he's one of the Tibbs guys, though. Tibb loves him. That's why he's there. I think he's there for more leadership, to say, hey guys, I've been in the playoffs before. I've never won anything, but I've been in the playoffs before, and this is what we can do. I think that team, the Knicks team with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, I really like them, but I think Darius Garland was just too much last night with 26 points in the first half. If you can't stop their number 2 player, Spider Mitchell's the number 1 over there, and then Evan Mobley's 2A, and Darius Garland being 2B. That's, if you can't stop those guys, you're not gonna win the game.
You're definitely not. I mean, that you kind of summed that up perfect there. You're definitely just not gonna win the game. Garland putting up 32, like you said. And Mitchell only had 17 points. I mean, LeVert came up with 24 points. I mean, Mobley, again, 13 points, but 13 rebounds. And that's something that I just, behooves me of these NBA teams anymore, is that nobody crashes the boards, nobody gets second chance opportunities. So when you see these guys that are running around, snagging these loose balls, snagging these long rebounds, or getting these offensive rebounds, it doesn't look like much at the point, but it adds up at the end. And if you just think about 13 rebounds, and you say half of them are, offensive, or even just 20%, I mean, that's 2 to 3 more chances that you got in a game to score points, potentially 6 to 9 points. That's a huge difference, in my opinion, and I just don't understand why NBA teams don't crash boards more. I know it's because of the high flying, breaks the other way, but it doesn't make sense to me. So yes, the Knicks 90, Cavs 107. This one honestly didn't even really feel that close at all.
No.
The first game between the Knicks and the Cavs was obviously a great game, very close, contested the whole way.
Oh, man.
Knicks pulled away at the end, so this series is tied. But from what I saw on that, I don't know. I don't know.
This is going to be back and forth. This is what each team takes one at the other team's home. So I think Knicks. I think Knicks can win at Madison Square Garden Game 3. Cavaliers take Game 4. Then it's a one game at a time. Who takes the next one, and that's it. But this is one should go Game 7, and this is the one that's going to delay the playoffs, I think.
I think I had. Oh, here it is. I did. I originally. Wow, that's a bold statement. I originally had the Knicks in 6. What? Oh, I think I was feeling nostalgic from Derrick Rose. I think that's what happened that day. That pick will be changing. So. Yeah. If you haven't done so, guys, go to NBA.com/bracket, and you can actually go in and pick it. You have a chance to win courtside seats, and I think it's like 20 G's or something like that. But it allows you to keep going. We have 32 hours left, so you can pretty much get to the very end to be able to pick these series. So I will definitely be flip-flopping a little bit on that one. And then, filing up on Tuesday night, we had a very anticipated game again. Some of these games, though, man, they're tipping at 10:30. Us old people and people that, don't work nights and have to get up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, man, these are tough. So Clippers 109, Suns 123. The series is back tied 1-1. The Suns that we thought were going to show up Game 1 showed up for Game 2. The Clippers kind of just regressed a little bit, but they didn't regress a whole lot. They just didn't get a lot of the team contribution that they had from before. Did you get a chance to look at that one?
I got to see it. I saw what we expected in Game 1. I saw Devin Booker be the alpha that he is on that team and say, you know what, let's go. This is my team. Yeah, we added the Durantula, Kevin Durant. I think Durant's the number 2 there, and I think Devin Booker's. They might have had a little talk, and he said, listen, this is my team. I know we brought you in. We need you. We want you. Get the looks that we can. I mean, all 5 of their starters were in double figures. When Phoenix gets that going, when DeAndre Ayton has 14 and 13 rebounds, and 14 points, you're going to win a game against anybody. I mean, I think the Suns are the most dangerous team, even though,
if they play like that, absolutely.
Exactly. If they play like that, I think they can beat Boston. I think they can beat the 76ers. I think they can beat anybody. I'll
tell you, the scariest stat line that I've seen so far is Russell Westbrook, 9 for 16 with 28 points.
Westbrook found his shot last
night. Westbrook came up, huh? I mean,
yeah.
second only to Kawhi Leonard at 31 points. 36 minutes, man. I tell you, he's like the little Energizer bunny that just goes around there. He's kind of a nuisance as well. Now, I'm not going to take him to the Draymond level,
Yeah.
but he definitely gets around there. 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Great stat line. If you got Russell Westbrook putting up those numbers and you're losing, there's a big problem there in Clipper Nation, because if you're getting that kind of production out of Westbrook, when you got him, I think, for 8 points the game before and won, and you got him for 28 points this one, only 3 points behind Kawhi Leonard, and lose, there's some seriously scheming issues that need to be addressed on the Clippers.
But I think that's what shows what the Clippers are. I heard an interesting comment when I was listening to some other sports talk radio yesterday. Kawhi Leonard is probably one of the most playoff ready person or basketball players in the last 15 years. I know because of his load management, he takes a lot of time off. But when the playoffs come, he turns on that switch, and he is a different player. Like, I heard someone say he's top 5 players in the playoffs over the last 15 years. Like, top 5. Like, he that demeanor changes. He puts his head down and he scores 31 points. But with Westbrook scoring 28, you need somebody else. They had 2 guys that didn't even. They're bad.
Batum.
Power forward, 0 points. Batum, 0 points. Zubac, 8 points. Eric Gordon, 12 points. Those guys need to step up. They didn't have any help but those 2.
And you look at that as well, Zubac. This is what pisses me off about. You're a center in the NBA and you finish with 6 rebounds. You're a center in the NBA and you finish with 6 rebounds.
They don't play inside, man. They stand outside the square of the free throw line, and when the rebound goes up, everyone looks and goes, "You got it? All right, cool."
No, they just run the other way. It's crazy, man. It's really crazy. So moving forward, we got some of the good matchups going on. We got Lakers Grizzlies tonight at 7:30. Lakers are the 1-point favorite here. We're moving back we're still in Memphis. I definitely think the Grizzlies take game 2.
It's all going to be dependent if Ja Morant can play. Yesterday at practice, when the media was able to go in, he had ice on his hand, did not touch a single ball when he was bouncing strictly with his right hand. His left hand didn't use it at all. So this is a make or break. If the Lakers win this game, I think they go on to win 4-1. This is a take their hearts, take their soul, do it in Memphis. Let's go back to LA.
I would have to agree with you. If Ja's not playing, with no Steven Adams, that's going to be a very, very, very tough task. He's listed as game time decision, so I think that's probably why you see the spread the way it is. I do differ, though. I don't think that anybody's scared of the Lakers. I just don't. I really don't, especially like a Ja Morant. So if he could come back for game 3 and be healthy, I think that they can pluck one out of there. So that would be 3, come back and get the 2. I don't know. This one could definitely go 7, in my opinion. But we'll see tonight. So that we have Heat Bucks. Do we have a update on Giannis?
Nothing as of yet. I think he's another
game time decision.
Another game time decision again. Listen, I heard another interesting thing. They're trying to. Is the NBA going to take charges out of the game where if a guy's running at the lane, you can't get in front of him and stuff like that? It's the dumbest thing I heard. You can't have someone like Giannis do that because he would score 60 points. But I don't know, man. These guys are these injuries are going to change it. But I think, as Jeff and I talked about it last night, I think the Bucks still have enough firepower. They've got Middleton, they've got Portis, they've got who else? Middleton.
Well, Giannis is listed as doubtful, and 16 hours ago, the last update was likely out. So I think that I agree with you. I think that they have a deep enough bench. I think they have a deep enough play style. And with them and Jeff, the Lakers are not winning the NBA championship. Get off of YouTube and get your butt in front of a camera. So I think that I I think that the Bucks have the firepower to do it, and I think knowing that Giannis isn't going to play going into it will change their play style. And I know he went out very, very early, but it's just a different mental factor when you think somebody's coming back. Just trust me, it's just a different mental. So I think that the Bucks can get this done. If Miami plays the way that they played last game, though, I mean, it's not going to be a walk in the park for them. I'll tell you that.
If Jimmy Buckets turns on his game again like he did, had 35 points in game one. Buckets is also another playoff guy. He just knows how to turn it on. I think the one X factor that we talked about is Tyler Hero. He's not going to be there. Can Bam Adebayo show up? Can the supporting cast around Jimmy Butler, can they step up this game and take down the number one team in the East?
Well, Kyle Lowry is also a game time decision as well.
All these guys are listed. I just looked. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, John Morant, all listed for doubtful for the game. Everybody's listed as doubtful. It's the playoffs. These guys are playing. There is no load management. They are not.
It's the mind game.
Unless they are taping themselves up with duct tape and chicken wire, they are going to be out there.
Hey, I could see Jeff's goat taking the day off, thinking I just won one in over here. I can finish it. I'm resting myself. I could see that.
No.
I'm not saying it's going to happen.
No.
I could see him doing that. I could see him resting himself at one game in the playoffs. Now, before everybody jumps on my bandwagon here and says, "Yeah, the dude is almost 40 years old," so I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying I could see him doing that.
He did not go to the LeBron James of foot doctors so that he could miss a game in the playoffs.
The second best doctor ever.
Exactly. He'll be there.
So last game that we have is the Timberwolves Nuggets. The spread's 8.5. For what I saw from everything, I don't see how any of this is going to change. I do believe that it's going to be the Nuggets, and I don't know if it's going to be necessarily a blowout again, but the Nuggets definitely bring that one home.
Hey, if you're in the Denver area, tickets are as low as $33 right now. You can see a playoff game with the stat patter Joker.
Oh, really?
See him. $33, man. Let's go.
The stat patter, huh? I'm going to go and bring in the Bad Burrito Boys because we're getting ready to talk about some NHL hockey, and I know these boys have a little bit of say going on in it. Paul, Chad, how are we doing today?
What's up, boys? It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. I couldn't be better.
It is the Stanley Cup playoffs, and it's tough to be better. So let's get into it. We did get a chance to get through our Monday predictions, unfortunately, because of Discord decided to take a poop on us. But, one of my favorites is definitely the Rangers, and we'll get to the Rangers down the road. But they're basically the Blackhawks of the East now. They have the Pan Man. They have Kane, and I do believe that I have another one. But they're basically the Blackhawks of the East. But getting into it, Monday we had the Islanders Hurricanes, and Paul, this was one that you thought that maybe the Islanders could have squeaked one out of here, huh?
Yeah. So, I don't know how closely anybody paid attention to the game other than myself. I watched every minute of that one. There were a few questionable calls. The Hurricanes scored both of their goals on the power play. And both of those penalties were pretty soft. So
not playoff hockey penalties.
They were not. And I think the referees called the game pretty poorly both ways. The Canes also got penalized a couple times. One thing about the Islanders is their power play is 30th in the league for the regular season, and they still made the playoffs. They just got Matt Barzal back after missing 24 games. He is the quarterback of their power play, and now with him back shaking the rust off for one game, I still think the Islanders take this series. They
Nice.
are a heavy team. They're grinders. The Canes are talented. Don't get me wrong. They've got speed up front, but I just don't think their goaltending is going to keep up with Ilya Sorokin, and I think the Islanders can squeeze this out in 6 or 7 games.
And we all love to see 6 or 7 games, and there's nothing like Game 7 in hockey. You think Game 7 in NBA or baseball is good? Game 7 in hockey is like nothing else. The next game we had
for sure.
That is for sure. We had the Panthers versus the Bruins. Now this is one that I thought that the Panthers could have squeaked out. I really liked just the Panthers going in. Bruins coming off one of the best seasons ever, the highest scoring points. You know, it just takes takes out of a lot of a team to be able to put up those kind of numbers. They did also have a little bit of a flu bug or something going through there. They showed little signs of it. I thought the Panthers had some really good opportunities that they didn't capitalize on, and I know that they gave the Bruins one definitely easy goal that should have been stopped by the keeper, but it got through. But the Panthers did end up winning this one. I'm sorry, the Bruins did end up winning this 3-1, also covering the puck spread, which was a little out of control as well. Moving on, the next one we had was Wild Stars. Now, this one, I don't know if anybody got a chance to watch this one. This one was crazy. The Wild ended up winning 3-2 in double overtime, and this is something I love about playoff hockey is we don't go to shootouts. We just continue to play until somebody scores a goal. This isn't soccer. We don't end in ties. We play until the death. Did anybody get a chance to watch this one?
Yeah, I caught a few minutes of it. The other part about the overtime hockey is it's 5-on-5 and not
4-on-4. Yeah,
nonsense. Yeah. So yeah, the obviously the big story coming out of it was the hit on Pavelski. He looks like he may miss the next game.
I think he's gonna miss the next game. he
got
his bell rung.
I mean, he got rocked, and as much as you don't like to see a guy get hurt like that, and there was a little question as to whether and the name of the guy who hit him escapes me, but whether he left his feet or not, and if he was coming up, and all of that. But I'm from the days of watching Scott Stevens put Eric Lindros and Ty Domi and just some of the best players in the league on their ass, coming across the middle with their head down. So I'm all for it. I think shoulder to anywhere checks are okay in my book, especially in the playoffs. Again, you hate to see a guy like Pavelski go down. But anyway,
I think it was. I agree. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was just going to talk about some of the injuries on the other side. The Wild, they have 2 guys questionable. Klingberg, questionable for tonight, and so we'll see.
It was Matt Dumba who was the guy that hit him. I saw the hit as well, and I just thought it was playoff hockey. And you didn't see a huge reaction from the rest of the skaters and the players as well. So, I mean, you kind of usually get an idea. You know, if somebody takes a cheap shot, like you said, launches or something like that, there's usually a ruckus to follow. But yeah,
I did see Max Domi, Ty's son, go after Dumba after the hit a little bit. So I mean, there's
but I'm just saying if there's an egregious hit, the entire team goes after him.
Oh yeah.
You've got to kind of defend your guy. You can't just let him lay there, nearly unconscious. So they're always going to have a dust up.
I watched a clip the other day of, I can't remember what the rookie's name is, but he was playing against Alex Ovechkin, and he decided to fight him. Ovechkin laid him out, dude, and the guy was just not moving. And nobody's doing anything, dude. It's just, but yeah, to your point, you definitely got to defend your teammates. Like I said, that's why you saw the initial player go over there. But unless it's a bad hit, the teams will let you know. I mean, there's just really good hits. As long as it's not something into the boards or something like that, where that's when you get into really scary stuff. But yeah, that was definitely a good win by the Wild. 2 OTs, and like I said, there's nothing like playoff hockey. Then the last one on Monday night was the Kings Oilers. Now they say that there's a worse lead in hockey. There's no worse lead to have in hockey, and that is a 2-goal lead. Don't ask me why it is. It's just the way it is. Okay, so Oilers 2-shot lead, 2-goal lead going up on the Kings. Kings get one in the third, and then towards the end of it, they pop in the other one. End up winning in overtime. I mean, the Oilers, gee me Christmas. If they can't pull this off, they're I don't know where they go from here if they don't pull it off. I do believe that they will come back and win this series. But what an impressive win by the Kings.
Yeah, they're grinders. They are one of the scrappiest teams in the league. They have been. Their culture is just that. They are almost never out of a game. I think what we saw in the third period was the Oilers trying not to lose the game, rather than continue with, put their foot on the throat, keep the foot on the gas, wherever you want your feet in this analogy. So I think if the Oilers want to continue to win this game or this series, you're going to have other guys step up. It can't be the Connor McDavid show.
Well, he's the best player on the planet, but you can't have a game where Connor McDavid has a -2 on the plus minus, as well as Bouchard was -1 as well. I mean, those are the guys you're looking to anchor the team there, and for McDavid to have a -2, that's just very, very fluky in my opinion.
Agree, and that's kind of my point. Is he needs to be on the attack straight through, whether they're up 2 goals or they're up 20 goals. He does one thing better than anyone maybe ever has. You might have to go back to Bobby Orr to get an end-to-end dominance the way that McDavid has. It's impressive to watch, but you can't rely on that. They can't just have one guy scoring.
Well, I don't know, man. I think I kind of disagree a little bit there, respectfully, because I mean it's just like, if you have Michael Jordan, you expect him to score, I or at least make the plays, and I think he did it. I think he did a good job, but I'm obviously if you're a -2 plus minus, I mean I don't think you're going to see that again from Connor McDavid. I don't think you're going to see that again. So moving on to Tuesday night games real quick, and then we're going to get into some golfs here. We got the Rangers Devils 5-1 over the Rangers 5 over 1 Devil, and it was just a blowout. I mean, the Rangers just totally dominated this game. Look at the plus minus. Almost the entire Rangers team was plus. Actually, the entire Rangers team was plus, and that's just something that you just don't really see a whole lot. Pan-Man +1. I don't see old Kaner on here though. Oh, there he is. He had a negative score. I think this one could be a very well sweet. To me, the Rangers are just absolutely stacked. I'm looking forward to if it matches up the Rangers and Lightning, because those are the 2 best teams I do believe out of that side. Speaking of the Lightning, they played last night, and they're once again crushing Toronto's dreams of ever winning a playoff series. I think it's been like 30, 40 years since they've actually got something. But the Lightning just absolutely poured it on. To me, the Lightning are just a franchise that you want to root for, man. You want to be a Tampa Bay Lightning fan. They have just continued. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It just, and to shake your head there, I know you are shaking your head because of the Blackhawks, obviously. But the Blackhawks had a nice 6-year run, right? Well, if you think about it, back I think it was 2013 is when they played the Rays, or was it the 15? I think it was 13. So think about that. The Tampa Bay Rays have been competitive the entire time, whereas as soon as 2015 we won the Cup, that was it. We became irrelevant. The Tampa Bay Lightning have continued to build through talent, development, Stamkos' leadership. They have one of the best goalie in the NHL. In their net, they have I think Hagel's on there as well from the Blackhawks. I mean, they just this is what you want your team to do, man. You want your team to be competitive every single year, and they just come in and out every single year. And next thing you know, here they are again. Boom, 7-1 in the playoffs. You can't beat that. Jets 5, Knights 1. I didn't really get to watch a whole lot of this one. Paul, I don't know if you saw any of this game or not. I definitely did not.
Yeah, I watched most of it.
Oh, any good highlights for us?
Yeah, I think it went pretty much how I expected. I have Winnipeg winning this series. I know an 8-1 upset is unusual, but In fact, I think the last time we saw one, it was the Lightning bowing out in their President's Cup year.
It was.
Yeah.
They got swept that year.
And Tyson, I hope the Lightning lose, and I hope they lose bad, and I hope Kucherov never plays another second of hockey. But we'll get into that another time. He's the dirtiest player in the league. The Knights look slow. They are a pretty slow team as far as like they're a little more determined. They're a little more plodding. They're going to need goaltending, and they just didn't have it last night. The Jets had speed up front. They got 2 quick goals in the second period. Knights did come back and get one, and a pretty good goal. But I think it's going to come down to goaltending, and the Jets have a huge advantage in that. So I like the Jets to take that series.
And, the last game that we had was another wild card team upset, the Kraken, upsetting the defending champs. And wow, the Kraken. I mean, I guess if that's what you want to go, I don't know. It seems like a formidable creature, but to me, it's a very funny name. I don't know. I definitely think that one's a fluke. I don't know, though. I mean, Colorado definitely has the firepower. Obviously, we've seen it. They're proven champions. But there's just something about these wild card teams, and they come in and they have nothing to lose. They're not expected to win. There's something about being that underdog that gives you an edge on whatever sport you play to say, all right, well, you doubt me, you don't know me, whatever. Another great game. It's just, that's all you can ask for in these games. That was another late night game that I did not stay awake for.
I didn't see much of it either. Yeah. I think this is one of those situations where the Avalanche is probably the better team overall. In the playoffs, you miss a guy like Gabe Landeskog a lot more than you do in the regular season. Running shorter lines as far as your line rotation, especially on the power play and the penalty kill unit. You're going to get a time where a second line center or wing is going to have a lot more ice time than your fourth line. So
absolutely, definitely way deeper.
I think they miss him. So anyway, I think this is going to be a decent series. Like it'll probably go 6 games. But I don't think it matters who wins because neither one of these teams are coming out of the West.
And there's the rub, boys. Well, let's move it on. We'll talk a little bit more about the playoffs as the week goes down as far as the NHLs go. We do have the NBA as well. We're not going to forewarn any of the games for the rest of this week. We're going to touch a little bit more on Friday because we need to move on to our Gap Wedge Wednesday segment. Obviously, you've already heard Paul. You heard Chad chime in a couple different times. We're going to recap the Hobbatown, tell how that went, and then looking forward to, we got an interesting format this week that the boys are going to get into. So, Paul, do you want to start us off and give it to Chad? Or
I think I know Chad had a couple. Well, I will say Hayden Buckley once again. If you tailed Hayden Buckley and Cam Davis, who were both real long shots, you probably got decent numbers on them on top 5 and top 10s. I think Davis paid off the 10 and Buckley squeaked in a 5, if I'm not mistaken. I got to check the leaderboard. I kind of lost interest on this.
Funny how that works, huh? Just happened to lose interest in this one. This marquee event.
Well, if I'm being honest, I was at Hollywood Studios with my family on Sunday, and I didn't really pay attention until the playoff. So I did watch every shot in the playoff, and I thought it was very, very good outcome as far as how playoff golf goes. Anyway, I'll let Chad talk about the results, and then we can get into this Zurich.
Chad, come on in here. Give us the breakdown, my man.
Well, Paul being the Spieth hater that he is, because the what was it, the British Open with Kuchar,
the Open Championship against Matt Kuchar.
I'm sorry, we can't say British Open, the Open Championship. Sorry,
we are politically correct on this show.
He has been a Spieth hater ever since then, but it is what it is. I mean, Thigala is the man. That's all I got to say.
Hey,
Saved my
I
ass this week.
I liked him. I liked him the previous week in the Masters. I just thought that he kind of just chugged along. Not a whole lot of mistakes. Not a lot of flash. Not a lot of birdies. Just a lot of pars.
Yeah. His short game is awesome. Saved him a lot this week. Pretty sure he chipped in at least 2 or 3 times on Saturday and Sunday. So, if you're doing that, you're saving yourself some strokes. And actually, he gained on the field on that a lot this week. So, got me a top 5, top 10. So,
you know who didn't save me a whole lot of strokes, and this is somebody I want you boys to talk about a little bit here, is Victor Hovland, who comes out once again. Blazing glory, shoots at what was 7 under the first round, 8 under the first round, and then did he even? I think every round after that was over par.
Yeah, I mean, we told you about this guy, Tyson. His short game is horrible.
Yeah,
and this is the second smallest greens, I believe, on tour.
I mean, I get that his short game is terrible, but it just baffles my mind that a professional golfer can go out there and shoot 7 or 8 under in one round and then not be able to put anything together for 3 other rounds. I mean, the collapse on Sunday was epic. I mean, I think he was like 4 over on Sunday.
So there's I have no confirmation on this, but I don't believe that the PGA tests for marijuana.
He had a good time, huh?
Hovland looked a little sleepy on Sunday. No, Hovland, Tyson, when you want to bet Victor Hovland, you want to bet him on a tee to green course with big greens. So if we get up in the 6,000 square feet range, because he can lag putt, he's a decent lag putter. As soon as he gets off the green, anywhere within 30 yards of it, it is a problem for this kid. And he's an excellent ball striker. His hands are cement around the greens, and it reminds me of me. It just get me inside 100 yards, and it's not good at all.
Round three was the killer. Round 3 he had 4 bogeys. He tripled the par 5 15th and no birdies, shot 7 over 78. Other than that, he was 1 under through his other 2 rounds. But yeah, I think that, looking forward, if there's an outlet out there for Victor Hovland to be the first round leader, I mean, I might have to start looking at that little snitbit.
He was 7 under 2 weeks in a row and did not pay it off. But I was more shocked about the 7 under this week than I was, or this past weekend than I was at the Masters.
Yeah.
But I think the grind of the Masters caught up to him, and a lot of other guys.
Playing golf is hard.
It was Spieth being there on Sunday at the end was my biggest shock. He had talked about being exhausted. He had talked about too much golf. I thought we were going to see an early exit and get some rest, but apparently Harbor Town is a great place to go because
it's a good party town. It's a good party town.
They were rejuvenated.
Well, Chad, just put a bow on Harbor Town. Why don't you go ahead and give us your final recaps and thoughts on Harbor Town before we move on to this week?
We ended up being a decent weekend for it. The playoff was great. Spieth missing that putt. It is what it is. Can't make them all right. Thigala coming through, top 5, top 10. Saved me for the week. And a few other guys, like Paul said, Cam Davis, Kuchar, he plays great there, pulled off a top 20. Got a little payday there. So, it is what it is.
I do believe somebody asked about Fitzpatrick last week. I do believe that.
It must have been you.
Oh, here he goes. Here he
Well,
goes.
I do
must have
believe
been you.
I do believe somebody said, "What do you think about Matt Fitzpatrick, who's been playing very, very well, played a great round, great tournament at the Masters, had the one bad day where he was out in the slop. You know, I really like him to put it all together for a week." Was that Jeff? It must have been Jeff because he's not here. So it must.
Do you want to play the
No.
the next 55 seconds of that snippet? Because it's somebody else coming on and saying, "Yeah, and the Masters springboarded him last year, and he did seem to have something going on." So it's
multiple people, multiple people called out the winner. So if you guys are listening, multiple people called out the winner and Fitzpatrick this week. So I mean, if you guys aren't making money, I don't know what to tell you.
I'll say this: between the four of us, if you listen to this segment,
You're making money.
Since the API, you have been cleaning up.
Absolutely. So moving on to this week, what the hell's even going on this week? It's not a tournament, right? It's just, what is it? What's going on? We're playing in twosomes, we're pairs. What are we doing here?
Just guys getting together, having some fun, you know.
No, I don't know.
Let's go do a scramble.
Just bros being dudes.
Is this the Stableford system one?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. So what is this week?
that'll
Somebody give me the rundown of what this week is.
Yeah, so we have the Zurich Classic. It's in Avondale, Louisiana, which is they're going to tell you it's in New Orleans the entire weekend.
Naturally.
A lot of jazzy music's going to be playing. It's real annoying. It's kind of not great to watch. It's like Sunday of the match play, but like for 4 days straight.
The title of it literally is Zurich Classic of New Orleans.
Yeah. It's the TPC Louisiana. It's a little over 7,400 yards. It's a Pete Dye course. The greens are Bermuda. It's POA trivials, but they're Bermuda based. And last year's winners, Patrick Cantlay and Xander Schauffele, are back to defend their title. They are the two highest ranked players in world golf rankings in the field, and they're playing together. This is they're the shortest odds that we've seen all year for a favorite at 3-1.
So is this a best ball or scramble or what is it?
They play two formats. They play alternate shot, and then they play foursome, so best ball. And they alternate those Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they'll alternate it.
So little touch of Ryder Cup in there.
It's similar to the Ryder Cup format, but it's not match play. So they're going out and
right.
They're using strokes versus match.
And then it's just the team totals, correct?
They'll score it like a normal event.
Nice. Well, I mean, I guess it's something different. Or I mean, we're gonna do this, but get rid of the match play championship.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on that.
We Chad and I actually had this exact conversation Monday.
How do you get rid of match play, and instead of a team event that actually counts for points in the FedEx? I don't understand this at all, because it's not so both these guys get points.
Might as well let the live guys play, huh?
You could let high school kids
Jesus
play. I
Christ.
do not care.
I can see Chad's face getting red right now.
Y'all are just trying me right now, aren't you?
What? I'm just saying. I mean, if we're gonna do this kind of a stupid format, we might as well just let them pair it up. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to a live versus PGA event. Now tell me that wouldn't get one of the biggest ratings ever. If you had
the majors.
Exactly. If you I meant like a team sport. Just like Ryder Cup, right? Just like Ryder Cup.
Golf is not a team sport.
Just like Ryder Cup.
Tyson, do you know your boy Matt Fitzpatrick?
The guy that won last week?
Yeah. Do you know who his partner is this week?
No.
His fucking brother.
Okay, yeah. Do you know his brother's first name?
Mark?
I don't know it.
Peter?
I know he caddied. Yeah, I honestly don't know it, but I know it's his partner this week.
Peter.
It starts with an A is all I know.
Alex.
Hey, good for them. Go have some
if
good
you're
times.
wanting players that don't belong in a PGA field to play, you got it. So, and there it is.
I might have to try to slip in next year.
He's a very nice kid. I'm sure. He's great in the kitchen. He makes a scone like you read about. But
he's a good caddy because
a scone.
He caddied for his brother Matt in the amateur that he won.
So with
the country club.
So with this format, are we gonna we breaking down some teams? Do we have some favorites here? Do we have any long shots, or are we skipping this week?
No, we got
a couple.
We got some action.
Let's get it. Fire away, boys. Let's hear it.
Yeah, Chad.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, you know me. I'm going to talk about the two guys at the top. If they play to their ability, there isn't anybody in the field that can beat them. It's Patrick Cantlay and it's Xander Schauffele, and if everybody brings their A game, it's not close. They're going to win by 7 strokes. But there are a couple other teams that may have a chance. It's a Pete Dye course, so of course we're going to go back to Si Woo Kim and Tom Kim. Shorter odds than you would like with either of those two guys, but at 14-1, you're getting almost 5 times the money on the favorites.
Which normally you would love.
I normally would love that. Yes, but we are in the worst possible situation of golf. And then Sam Ryder. Chad, who the hell's Sam Ryder playing with?
Fucking piece of shit, Doc Redman.
Doc Redman, my boy Doc. I think he's an eye doctor, if we're saying any. He's not like a physician, you know what I mean? He's not a surgeon. I think he's like
he's like what was it on Friends? Ross was a doctor, so to say, wasn't he? He had
a paleontologist, yeah. But I think those two. Ryder's been playing great. Redmond has decent history here. So if you're looking for kind of a balmy play, I'd say them. My boy Hayden Buckley is playing again this week, but his odds are pretty short for where I normally like to play. So I know Chad's got a few he's talking about.
Yeah, Chad, who's your guys this week? Your teams?
Well, Billy Horschel and Sam Burns are together. Burns is a local boy. Billy Horschel has won this event twice, once on his own before it was a team event, and he won it as a team event also. So putting those two together, I think they came in second or third last year also.
Yeah, they were up there.
Yeah. Billy Horschel just loves this course for some reason. But the only thing about him is he's not playing very well right now. But Burns might be able to carry him through some of the problems. Another young team I like is my boy Sahith Thigala. He's playing with Justin Sue. A couple of California boys. They've known each other for a while because they both went to college in California. So they've been up and coming together. For a long shot, David Lipsky and Aaron Rye. They played together last year. They came in 4th. I don't understand the pairing here, but somehow they work together pretty well. I think they're like 70, something like that, 70-1.
I got plus 6,500 on my odds right now.
Yeah, so that's a long shot that could pull something off. Definitely throw them in top 10, top 20, something like that. Obviously, you're going to throw them in to win because you don't want to be the idiot that takes a top 20, top 10, and then when they win the whole fucking thing, you're like, what the fuck did I just do? Because I've done that before.
I call that the Chad.
Yeah. Stuart Sink, RBC. That was me. But super long shot. I'm just going to throw this out there because at an event like this, you got guys that can just make birdies and hopefully they don't fuck it all up. I'm going to go with Akshay Bhatia is a birdie machine, but he just has so many bogeys on his card to go with him that he's never pulled it off yet. And Harry Hall. I don't know much about Harry Hall, but I was ride Batia and his birdie dominance, and just hope that Harry Hall can hold up his end of the bargain. And you're looking at like over 100-1, I'm pretty sure, on these two. And if they can get that alternate shot, that's the key to this whole event. So, and I think that I'm pretty sure that's on Sunday, right, Paul? It's Friday, Sunday is the alternate shot.
I think that's right.
I believe it is.
Yeah,
Chad,
so that would make the most sense.
Yeah, so if
I'm gonna throw one name out to you on these guys. I know those are a lot of picks. What about the first timers, Colin Morikawa and Max Homa? How do you think they fare here?
They're second best odds. Like, I think that they're 6 or 7-1. I just don't like them, because if Morikawa actually does miss the green, I mean, what's Holland going to do? Put him fucking 30 feet away from the hole? So, and neither one of these two can putt. So, I mean,
it's Homa, right? Max Homa?
Oh, Morikawa. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking about last year.
Yeah.
When Morikawa was hobbling. But Homa's not, if he's not in California, I don't think he can win. That's his thing.
He's won at Quail Hollow. That's East Coast.
Okay. You're right on that one. But
so here's the thing about those two. They're the second best in the field. They're the second best in talent. But they also have to.
Yes.
I mean, they're both Cal guys, I think. So Morikawa did an interview, and he said that Homa volunteered as their assistant coach when he was in college. I didn't realize Homa was that much older than Morikawa.
Yeah, but, me neither.
But I mean, as far as winners on tour, Max has 6, Morikawa has 5. Morikawa has 2 majors. Like, these are world class guys. I mean, they're not Matt Fitzpatrick's brother. So could they win? Yeah, but that's the reason that they're 6-1. So
exactly.
I think if they bring their A game and Cantlay, Xander bring their A game, they're getting
only win by 2.
Yeah. So could they play together? Could they win it? Sure. Yeah, but I think it's 6-1. There's better money out there on. I mean, you get 3 times that.
Put it this way: I would rather have a Batia Hall 4-1 top 20 than I'd rather have them to win it at 6-1. So you just gotta find the better odds, because you get someone that can get a top 20 at the same price. That means they have 20 spots they can fill instead of just winning the whole thing at 6-1.
Gotcha.
Yeah. One other thing I'll say about this event is they are going to call it. I mean, it is New Orleans. New Orleans is pretty well known as a party town. Tulane just got voted #1 party school in the country.
Oh shit!
And some of the best weddings I've ever been to in my life have been in New Orleans.
Wait, which one was that?
So it is a place where some of the young guys can wake up with the Bourbon Street flu. And that's one of the places where I worry about some of the first timers here, and especially the younger guys. So it could be another reason that Horschel, who doesn't delve into that world anymore, plays well here, because he is not worried about the hangovers, so to speak.
I tell you what, if you had a Koepka and DJ pairing here, you would definitely take them to miss the cut.
I would say DNF on that group. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, this has been it's going to be an interesting weekend. I don't know how much golf any of us are really going to watch, but we like the picks. I'm going to go out and say my pick that I'm having is Nick Taylor, Adam Hadwin, top 10. I'm going to pick those. That's my long shot. But we'll get back to next week when we can actually see some real golf.
In Mexico.
In Mexico. Beautiful Mexico.
So we have no picks this week, correct, for our pool?
That's right. That's right.
No.
Golf.
All right.
Tyson, just throw a top 20 on Thigala and Sue.
I like Thigala. I picked
money.
I picked
Watch
him
your
last
money
week.
grow.
I picked up. I like it. Well, thanks a lot, boys. We appreciate it coming in. Like I said, it's going to be a very interesting thing. It's just a sad thing that we have this tournament, but not the match play. But I guess that's just the way life is sometimes.
But we got hockey.
We got hockey. We got NBA playoffs. Baseball's heating up. The Cubs are actually relevant right now. So, I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay.
I just got to chime in on hockey because I really don't get to a lot because I don't know much about it. But yesterday I did the NBA NHL playoff combo parlay, a 5-team parlay, and the fucking Colorado Avalanche can suck a dick.
Okay. All right.
I did the home team, the NBA home team game one loss that the road team. We got ours, so we're gonna just lay down in game two with the Clippers losing and the Knicks losing. That was easy money. And then I took the two goalies. They were probably the top two goalies, if I'm not mistaken, for the year. Am I right, Paul, with Winnipeg and Tampa?
I don't know, man. I signed off like 2 minutes ago.
Whatever. But I took two goalies that were great during the year with Winnipeg and Tampa to pull the money line, the underdog upsets, and then Colorado fucked me.
Okay. All right.
So,
Thank you, Chad, for your opinions. We really appreciate it. Have a great day.
We gotta limit that.
Like what the? You gotta cut the guy off. I mean, gee, Benny, Christmas. Where's the Abu Dhabi? Where's that guy? Huh?
You guys did so good not cussing the entire show, and then Chad just comes on and just goes crazy.
Well, nice that a nice little flimwad comes on right at the end.
Yeah, you're welcome for that too.
How did your inspection go?
I mean, we're under contract, so we're in negotiation. That's all I'm going to say. We will be negotiating heavily.
Don't want to spoil it too soon.
Yeah.
Well, any parting gifts or advice that you'd like to throw out there?
Thought you guys did a great job. I appreciate you holding me down. I had to be there. You know, it's going to be one of the largest purchases I ever make in my life. So I felt it was a necessity for me to be there today. So I appreciate.
You need to give Amanda your office hours, and then that way she can schedule these things outside of your office hours. I know you have a lot of office hours, though. I know you have a lot of office hours.
She doesn't care.
That's kind of what I was getting at.
That is the issue. She does not care at all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But anyway. Well, hopefully it all works out for you. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. We had a good little wrap up there. We apologize about the really, really poor English vocabulary by Chad there at the end. But we will work on it, and we'll get him cleaned up in the future. But everyone have a great day. Don't work too hard this week. We'll see you guys on Friday.